Are we on, Brian? All right. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they're having a special. All right, Miss Schaffner, whenever you're ready.
Brian, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I am going to call Rules Committee to order at 6:01 p.m. on March 23rd. Can I have a roll call, please, Brian?
Schaffner,
Here.
Carroll, McLean.
Also in attendance, we have Fiscal Officer Brian Bibler, VA Matt Nyheiser, Police Chief Brett Rogers, Village Solicitor Jeff Fako, Mayor Ellis, and council members Gar Phillips, Rick Foreman, and Brandy. God, Brandy. I can't remember your. Yeah, my God, I had a terrible lapse. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes for the February 9th meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 9th meeting.
I'll second it. Schaffner will second it. Roll call.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Carroll.
Visitors? Any visitors have anything for Rules Committee? Okay. I'm gonna skip down to old business. So, Jeff Fako, it looks like my understanding of this comparison of the zoning code situation, you're researching those and just,
I've done a memo which has proposed legislation for the majority of those topics. There are a couple others I'm still researching.
Okay.
But I intend to prepare legislation for those
Okay.
also.
so those ordinances include, there's a lot of paper in here tonight.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Ordinance amending, section 618, animals of the codified ordinance. There was, discrepancies between the hunting and housing or keeping livestock in our ordinance, apparently. Ordinance to amend chapter 104, to delete the chapter on trees. Ordinance to amend chapter 12, vital. Do we have to do all these individually to take to council, or can we just do them all?
You can do it collectively, except that I recommend having separate pieces of legislation for them.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. All right,
Yeah, but everybody can read it.
did everybody have a chance to take a look at these changes, or the kind of resolution more than anything?
If I can add, they're pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's pretty easy to. Can't have a cow.
What we need is a motion to send, oh, they're draft ordinances.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't have numbers. To send them to council for review.
Yeah, I moved to send the ordinance.
Unless, I should have said, is there any discussion about any of these? I mean, does anybody have
It's
any
like you said, though. I think they're pretty straight.
issues? Okay, then so you made the motion, you made the motion.
He made
I'll
the motion,
I'll second it.
and is he sponsoring?
If
you make the motion, you're
He would
sponsoring.
have to sponsor, yeah. Roll call.
Okay. McLean, McLean.
Discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion. I'm always a
I know,
discussion.
it kind of went out of order.
I believe that's only in council. I believe, but if you can, you're more than welcome to.
No, I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, cleans it up.
Clarifying it, and I don't have anything else to say. So yes, we're in roll call. Yeah.
Herd
Okay,
of
roll call.
goats now.
McLean,
Yeah.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Carroll.
Right. And then there's a proposal to amend chapter 804. Phil, do you want to, talk about that?
Yes. This was something that came up back in January. The village posted something to Facebook about solicitors, and so there was some reaction on both sides of it, so I wanted to maybe clarify what our ordinance says on that. And when I was going through it, I noticed something that kind of conflicted with a U.S. Supreme Court decision. So basically, in the legislative review packet that I sent out, it kind of gives you all of a summary of the issue, and then the vulnerabilities, and then what we can do to fix it, or we could do nothing and just not enforce it the way that it is to protect ourselves from any litigation or anything like that. But you know, just to be very clear, you know, anybody who, I don't want to change anything that's, you know, a property owner's rights. So if they have a no trespassing sign, then that has to be respected by everybody. But what it does is it allows First Amendment speech. You know, somebody who is basically doing anything with political or religious or anything like that, like they have that open invitation that anybody else would have until they're told otherwise.
Can I ask you a question? Because I was a little confused by this. Are you saying that the Supreme Court has ruled that political canvassers are not, or are solicitors, and if it says no, because I see where you, because I've always been told a political canvasser is not a solicitor, and if it says no soliciting, it's still okay to go to their door because you're not selling anything.
I don't think that, I don't see it that way, but
Well, what does the Supreme Court say? That's what I'm
I don't know that I'm qualified to speak about, you know, exactly what.
Okay,
their
well, that, okay, because
interpretation
that's
is,
what
but-
I took it from your thing there, that they
Yeah.
are saying that it's the same
So they would be
as.
solicitors, but they wouldn't be the same category, so they would technically be solicitors, but they'd be protected, they'd have protected First Amendment rights. in
First
their
Amendment
speech.
is intended for public spaces, not private property.
Yes,
And we're talking about private property here.
right.
So you can't violate the First Amendment when you're talking about private property.
We
Violate
can't.
Public spaces.
Right, so we can't tell them what not to say, because we're the government. So absolutely, the property owner has every right to tell them, get off my property, and then they have to leave. And so that's one of the things that the ordinance
Well, that's true. I mean,
fleshes
I
out,
would
is
agree
that
with that.
it would become a legal issue at that point, and could possibly be trespassing. And, you know, if they refuse to leave.
But there's no basic right here that we're protecting or violating when it applies to private property. That's not our call.
Right, and I agree with you on that. That's not what that's not what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to say that we, as the local government here, can't tell someone what they can and can't say. If the private property owner wants to do that, that's well within their rights.
Okay, when you say we can't tell them what to say or not to say, who is they?
The local
homeowner?
government.
Or no, the government can't tell them what to say. Who's them?
Can't tell the person who is doing the
The
protected speech.
canvassing?
Canvassing.
Okay.
So the Supreme Court case that came up was actually a Bible salesman. So they had a First Amendment protected right. Their religion, you know, because the First Amendment covers freedom of religion too. So, and it was in Ohio, and it was a law that was almost worded exactly the way that our ordinance is structured. So,
So they have, what you're saying is they have the right to go around, but as the homeowner, I have the right on my property to say thank you, but no thank you.
yes, and you
Easily.
could
Okay.
put the sign out that says no trespassing, and they can't even knock on your door at that point.
Okay.
It says no solicitors, no trespassing.
I don't think I agree with that. I mean, that's why I want to make sure I understand really what the Supreme Court said, because that's always, as somebody who has done a lot of canvassing politically, I mean, I've always been told that that does not apply to political canvassers.
Yeah,
If I can interject, I'm still
please.
researching that. so,
Okay,
That's what I
And
was
I'm gonna issue a memo on it.
okay, cool.
Yeah, but Debbie, to clarify, what you're talking about with political speech is one of the protected classes. So as a canvasser for political speech, you know, collecting signatures for a petition or something like that, you are more than welcome to go on someone's property, unless they have the sign though. That's how I believe the.
And that's where,
well,
that's what
not
I
the
don't
Supreme
agree.
Court, that's what the law, I believe, says as is. But I.
And that's why, yeah, Jeff is gonna have to get that
So,
clarified.
yeah, I think we're gonna
Have we
rely on
ever
that.
considered, I have wondered about this before, you know, other villages do have this, no soliciting thing that you can, like, you can purchase something from the village, they put it on their house and. it's
There'd be a no trespassing sign, wouldn't it? Or
It's,
no
well, it's a no
soliciting?
soliciting.
Yeah.
Have we ever considered doing anything like that? Offering that to people? Because people don't like to have their doorbells ring here.
No.
They run and hide when that
Yeah.
happens. Is it something that we would consider?
Yeah.
Do people, do villages or do cities make money by doing that? I'm assuming they make a little.
I can't imagine.
You go to the hardware and buy
I
it,
guess that-
do not solicit, or no solicit.
Well, no, it's a registration process with the way like Pickerington does it, they have a registration process with the village.
Oh.
And then it's like official.
Also, you can
So then they get a
register to
list
go around
of.
Well, if
You
it's my
register
property, if I
to
post
put
sign on it
a
that says, "Do not
no
come on my
solic-
property," then that should be good enough.
Well, it should.
The village ain't gonna police it at 7 o'clock at night. I mean, you can call and obviously call the police and they'll come out and
Well,
look
you
over
would,
whatever.
you would know, wouldn't you? That don't some places do? I know they do.
I don't
Pickerington
know
has
about
it.
signs. I know here we have the only reason we have this whole thing is to come here is so we do background checks on the people because,
That way you know they're on the street and they're legit.
and I can say from my personal experience, we've ended up arresting a lot of people that were doing that kind of stuff that had warrants. So,
Oh,
Remember last year I had like,
yeah.
on my little street, 4
Yeah, a
different-
bunch.
So we do and
That
that's
was
all
a
we do.
bunch
We
when
don't
you did
deny
that
it for any
last year,
reason.
wasn't
Well, we don't anyway. We just do the background check. So they get the names of the people that are doing it, and then they give them a piece of paper so that when they go up to somebody's door, they know that they've been checked and that they're not, you know, that they're a legitimate business. Because I think Jeff, you're involved in that too. So
Okay.
that's why we have that process here is not to deny anybody. It's just to he checks, make sure they're. Man, I'm sick wrong.
That they don't have any issues with the Secretary of State's office, that they're a legitimate business, that sort of thing.
And then we do the background check, and then they issue the permit, or I guess that's what you call it, right? Permit.
And so there's a distinction between, commercial use and then, you know, someone who's doing non-commercial activity.
right. I understand
So
that.
collecting signatures is
Yeah.
not something I think you should have to, you know, get a background check for. And it would be, considered probably prior restraint
Well, that's true.
for us to do that to somebody.
So Jeff is going to research this.
And then we'll just take it after that. Yeah.
That was all old business. Anybody else have any old business they wanna talk about? Alright, new business, this cybersecurity program policy. And not 100% sure where this came from.
It came from me. Basically, last year, House Bill 66 was passed by the state legislature, requires all governments to develop a cybersecurity program policy. And we have until July 1 to do it, and I developed one with some help from some other places of a similar
Supposed to do
size.
something about gerrymandering too, but they didn't. And
I set this up to our insurance people with the cybersecurity professionals, and they were okay with this policy as written. And we have to have this in place by July 1. And one of the things House Bill 66 or 96 does is requires training every year. So like for instance, all the employees have to be trained on this annually. We have our first one set up next month right before our team. We got our team meeting planned, and the guy from our insurance company is coming down and going to give us our presentation at no cost. So
Yeah, we have to do this where I work every year too.
yeah, so
Yep.
So does this need to be in
I just need it, I need this to be, a legislation drafted for this, yes.
Okay,
Did we?
And the deadline's July first, well, June thirtieth, actually,
Yeah.
for the ordinance to be in place.
We should just get it out of the way and move it up.
so we'll see that next meeting, or,
If you guys approve.
oh, yes. So I need a motion to send that to, council,
I'll make a
It's
motion.
the cybersecurity program
Yep.
thing.
I'll second
Roll call.
Carol,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
Shelter.
Okay. We are up to sidewalks. Mr. McLean again.
I'm busy, huh?
Yes, you are.
So this is something new. I hope everybody had an opportunity to look it over. The packet I put together. I had 4 tabs in it, but basically it came up in last, I think it was the last council meeting. We were talking about sidewalks to nowhere. And so I did a little research on it, and I think the main point is that that's usually part of a new plating requirement, and that the people doing that development, that's a requirement on them, not somebody doing some kind of infill construction to an existing neighborhood where sidewalks might not already exist. So, basically what I was putting together in this packet was something that says that, it's not even an ordinance, it is a resolution saying, clarifying what we meant or what we mean, so that there's nobody required to get a permit or required to put let me rephrase that, required to put in a sidewalk in order to get a permit, where a sidewalk doesn't exist because either the ordinance wasn't in place at the time when the neighborhood was built, or when the developer did it, they got out of doing it for some reason, either they just failed to do it, or they got a waiver or something like that, so.
Don't we have an ordinance that says if you have a property and you've got sidewalks on each side of you, that you have to connect them? I thought we
Our
did that.
ordinance says if you build a new house, you have to put a sidewalk in front of it, period. Which is why we end up with sidewalks from nowhere to nowhere.
We talked about it one time, cause I remember everybody got really very upset about it.
Well, I just feel like,
Well, here's my thing.
That's the right word.
I don't think the ordinance says that, so
Yeah.
that's
So,
what I'm
you
contending.
know where I built, right outside of town?
And, no, actually I don't, but,
So when you pass Holder Road,
uh-huh.
I'm the new builder right
Oh,
after.
okay, gotcha.
So there's nothing that connects my house to Holder Road, sidewalk wise.
Right.
And Joe Daff's is a good example too.
Yeah,
that's a
and
really
that's
good
the
example.
best
It's,
way.
On the way to Alton Park,
It's floating.
Joe
Yeah.
Daff built a house and he has a sidewalk that literally,
but they made them put those
no
in, right?
sidewalk is anywhere near it in either direction.
Yeah.
It's just in front of his house.
So I would have to put a sidewalk in
To nowhere,
to nowhere.
And I did, I had to put one in to nowhere.
to nowhere.
Right.
And it actually, my sidewalk actually disrupted the natural drainage and now all the
Now,
stormwater
if
That's
it's
fact.
a
destroyed the
road,
street.
it's eroded the road away.
Because
Yes.
the water
Can't
used
go
to
to
go
the right
off into
spot.
the grass and around to the storm drain, and now it can't because the sidewalk's there, so it just runs down the road, and now the road is completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And I think it states it has to be 5 foot wide by 4 inches thick.
Oh, I don't know what the specifics
Most
are,
of them
but
have been built 3 feet wide, or 4 feet wide.
Well, if you Google it and pull up Baltimore's ordinance, or Baltimore's requirement, they said 5 foot by 4 inches.
but that's, so it comes to the question where also who's responsible? Because when they built the houses on Cliff Street, there's no sidewalks along there, and there's a bunch of houses.
Right, and it's the homeowner's responsibility to put the sidewalk in. But if there's not, my thing with it is,
There's no sidewalks there.
I'm gonna put a sidewalk in my front yard, it's not gonna do nothing but put a
Sit there.
sidewalk in my front yard.
Right.
And
It's not gonna
honestly,
connect me to Holder Road.
Well, your neighbors don't have them.
and the
Yeah.
ones on
Yeah,
Cliff
or a
Street, if you
dive
don't
is-
also put in approaches, they'll crumble. If you
Right.
put those sidewalks across the gravel driveway,
Yeah,
without the approach,
it'll crumble.
his days are numbered.
Right.
Well, Daff's is probably the worst. The house is
That's
beautiful.
poster child. It's
I'm just
poster
saying, there's
child.
this beautiful house and then there's a sidewalk.
His
And
kids learn to ride their bike.
it's just dumb.
So what this resolution does is it clarifies that that part of our of our ordinance does not apply to existing neighborhoods. It applies to newly platted areas.
Yes.
The village still has the right to require them in certain situations. And that we're not gonna, you know, basically we're telling the, I guess the inspector or the building office to interpret our ordinances this way according to the resolution.
Okay.
I would like to see it removed completely.
It's a
We
waste.
could do that too.
It's, I mean, I just don't,
It's a waste to have it.
it's a waste to have it, cause it's a,
I mean, our development plan requires it in new development.
on the
so
new development, it's
basically
different. Yeah, you gotta have
excluded
it.
The sidewalk ordinance altogether.
Right,
By doing that,
Right.
because it's in the new development.
right,
Requirements.
right.
And if you don't require it on the existing platted lots, then the ordinance is completely mute.
And then they come back and say, okay, you need to put a sidewalk in now. It kind of defeats the purpose if we're gonna get storm sewer out through there, cause at some point,
Yeah.
the private might have to tear that sidewalk up.
Probably, more than probably.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just an
probably,
example.
no, you will.
Right.
So Jeff, you're gonna review this as well, I would
I
imagine?
am reviewing it, I'm in the process of reviewing it, a couple points. I think that you need this is what council wants to do, you need clarification on what an established area means. Is that something that became platted prior to a certain date? I don't think we have any definition of what an infill lot is
Yeah,
either.
and to that point, Cliff Street was platted after this ordinance was passed.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, so clarification's needed. I would recommend an ordinance to amend this provision rather than to fool around with the resolution of intent.
I gotcha.
I think that's a cleaner way to do it, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
I-
And I did ask Matt to see if there are any pending issues, if he's being bombarded with requests of people or, you know, residents complaining, and my understanding, my recollection is no, right?
Actually, the two builds on South Cliff Street are not wanting to do it because it doesn't make any sense on theirs. And right there on Cliff Street, you have two different situations. You have two houses that were built on the south side of Cliff Street that were existing platted lots. And you have a whole row of houses on the north side of Cliff Street, which were platted after the ordinance was passed. So right there in that one street, you have both, a good example of both situations existing.
Okay.
But shouldn't the developer put them sidewalks in if
Yes.
they were needed?
Ordinarily, yes, the developer's required to install them before they can sell
That's
the
what I
lots.
would like to see, being if it's a subdivision or
What,
development or
right,
whatever you wanna
even if
call
it's
it.
7 houses like he put out there, he should have put the sidewalks in.
When I built in Lancaster, all the sidewalks and curbs and everything were in, and if any of them developed a crack during construction, I had to tear it out and replace it.
So-
And I had to do that.
So my question to this is, do we start it from this point on and we leave all those other people alone? Which I think we should.
I definitely think we should leave them alone.
I mean,
I'm for that, I mean,
they shouldn't have
I think
to,
it does
affects
away
me,
with the
so
ordinance.
I
Effectively
should-
does away with the
I don't
ordinance
really
if we do
wanna get
that.
into it, but, yeah, I think we ought to leave everybody alone.
I made a motion to repeal it once before, but that was before the current mayor of the council.
right.
Just so I'm clear on this, are you talking about repealing the current ordinance in the subdivision regs that
No.
requires
No.
sidewalks?
No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Only the one that requires it for all new builds in the existing village.
For
Not
what,
talking about changing the
single
sub-
unit houses?
Yeah.
Not talking about changing the subdivision requirements.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think our code, the way I read it, it doesn't say that you have to do that for existing villages, that the way that it's placed in the code of ordinances, the section that it's in, the wording it uses, implies that it is only intended for the newly platted areas, and
Hasn't been
that's what the
applied.
resolution was saying.
Hasn't been applied that way.
It hasn't been applied that way, and the resolution was basically us telling the administration that that's the way they need to interpret it going forward.
So the developer on Cliff Street should have been required to do it before he sold the lots.
That's what I think. That's what I think they should do. I don't
And
think
we
it should be up to the
We shouldn't
homeowner.
hold the current homeowner
Right.
responsible for something the developer
Should have done,
should have done to begin with.
yes. So did you get all that, Jeff?
So are you okay with an amendment? As opposed
Yeah.
to the resolution?
I'm okay with anything that moves it forward.
Do you wanna go ahead and make a motion to take it to council?
What about lots that have sidewalks on both sides? Currently,
Yeah, I
It's
think I
empty
did
lot in the
address
road.
that
We
in
should
here.
require that to be.
Well, if it,
you
if,
have to add that. to
yeah,
the
cause if it's a, it's just if it's a sidewalk to
Yeah.
nowhere,
The way it's written in here is
If
that
it's a continuous sidewalk, then
yeah,
Yeah.
they should
there's
have.
not a problem, but I don't see a problem, but when it's in the middle of nowhere,
Well, I'm saying you just have to add that though,
Right.
or
Yeah.
else nobody will have to do it.
Right.
So that would be ridiculous to have
Yes.
sidewalk, and a
And
house
then
with
nothing,
no sidewalk.
yeah.
Well, see, and that's what I thought we addressed at one point, that those people who were sitting, like, I can think of one over on Railroad Street, where you're walking along, and the sidewalk just ends, and in front of this house, there's nothing, and then you get to the next house and there's a sidewalk. And I thought that we had determined at another point, maybe that's how the residents read it, maybe it was something different. But I
Must've
was
been before
thinking
my
that we had
time.
required them
those are for
to
my
put something in.
I don't know of any new builds on Railroad Street that would be.
No, it wasn't a new build, it was just a, all right, so, did you make a motion
A motion
to take, to amend, the current, well, do I have to take that to
what is
council
the
for just
current
amending?
resolution, Jeff?
Where is it?
What is the current resolution of it?
Oh,
I thought you was looking at it, sorry.
no, that's, yeah, that's fine. 1214.06 L. Or I, could be I.
We'd still have to take it to council, so.
It's
Yeah.
a subdivision.
we
I
need
would-
a motion.
I would
Yeah.
wanna wait for the solicitors,
Ordinances, or,
cause I was,
His research.
I was recommending a resolution and he recommended an ordinance change
okay,
as instead, so.
so you wanna wait?
I mean, I can make a motion to send the resolution forward, now, but I'd rather get Jeff's
What's the best way, Jeff?
expert
I
opinion.
would recommend an ordinance. So I'll do a draft of an ordinance, a proposed ordinance, and then
Okay.
send it to committee
Okay.
for further review. It's probably gonna need to be tweaked more, just for definition purposes, if nothing else.
Okay. All right, any other new business? The rules, visitors, one more chance, anything, the rules?
I was just gonna interject about, you're talking about not making people do this if they don't want to, or whatever you say. I mean, I know two people out on, complained ever since the day one out there on Hansburger, Underwoods. They got sidewalk in front, and this way, and the town made them do it.
I know, I
Yeah.
had to do it.
So,
So
why you gonna
we
give
can't
them
go
money
back and do it, undo what.
I
they
can't go
did.
back and do that.
Yeah, I had to do it too, and Underwoods had to do it, Joe Daft had to do it,
No,
but
and you said. that
we all
Roger-
kinda laugh about it at this point anyway.
You
so.
said Roger Woods did it out, he had that, and built them houses a long time, because they were wondering if they was gonna have to make him put a sidewalks in out there. He never had.
You're right.
Well, it wouldn't make sense to put sidewalks out there with gravel approaches anyways.
John, you got something?
I got a sidewalk question, just see if we can drag this whole way at 7 o'clock. So,
We have another.
We got one more meeting.
you know, there's purpose behind that idea, even though it seems asinine, sidewalk nowhere. How does that interface with an existing sidewalk that needs replaced? Or what happens when Jamie's sidewalk then does become a house between existing sidewalks? Whose responsibility is that, that if then you do get encompassed by sidewalks on either side, then can you come back and say, now, you do need to fill in the sidewalk?
Great question, I think.
A lot of sidewalk questions, but I guess my question is like, is there a point where the village can come to somebody and say, your sidewalk is a danger, you need to replace it?
That already
Or your
exists.
lack of.
Okay, so it is the responsibility of the homeowner.
Yes.
So how does someone that has an existing sidewalk, that they're either being held to the fire that they need to replace it, how do they feel about, well, this person over here built a house, they don't even have a sidewalk, you know, they're not being forced to pour concrete.
Yeah,
I am.
I mean, the code already addresses that they will need to maintain their sidewalks. And so without a change to the ordinance, that would have to stay in place.
And I have something similar, kind of along these lines.
I'm just saying, I think sidewalks are tricky, nobody wants to pay for them, it's expensive. But everyone wants them, every village wants them, and who pays for them? So how do you hold these folks feet to the fire, but not these folks feet to the fire? Like, if you're in the business of sidewalks, maybe everybody's gotta, everyone's gotta be responsible. I pour concrete, by the way.
Yeah, just what we need.
I'm not a part of this committee, but kind of to John's point is, we've talked about those future developments that are gonna be out there on 256. And I thought that they were supposed to be connected to the village.
Well, we talked about a couple different ways, maybe a bike path or something like that, eventually.
Well, is that gonna be different than a sidewalk? So then put a bike path in front of people's homes?
Well, no,
versus
I
a
think it was
sidewalk?
from the middle. I mean, we haven't got that far. You
Well,
know
I
what I mean?
know, but this kind of goes to that point, so let's say we get those developments out there, and the point was to try to connect that part of our community to this part of the community, making sure that there's no disconnect, and that's where the sidewalks come in.
I
Does
thought
that
we-
make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I'll work with you
It's a statement, but I'm saying,
on putting something forward.
yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
not sure.
We
I
just
think
don't
would
want
be
a
under-
disconnect.
I'm not sure
Service?
how we make all the existing homeowners prior to this ordinance go back and install them
I
now.
don't think that would be.
And so you're gonna have these gaps that you really.
And that's
don't
why I'm
have
posing the
ability
question,
to-
like, we
Yeah.
talked about
How
not
did the
wanting
bike path get
to,
put in from the school to the middle of town?
That was with a grant.
That was with a
from,
grant.
What was it?
It was before me.
Something to do with children and access, and so that was a grant that put that nice big sidewalk all the way to the elementary school, down Main Street.
yeah, and I'm just throwing out, let's say.
Safe routes for kids,
uh,
I think.
Safe routes.
is-
A grocery store gets out there, a Taco Bell gets out there, whatever, you're gonna have people who are gonna wanna get out there on their bikes.
Sure.
I have
And
people complain
that's a
there's no
dangerous
sidewalk
road
to
to be on a
access.
bicycle, so that's all I'm
Right.
saying.
Well, it's definitely stuff to talk about. I just, the only thing I don't think you can make the existing people pay for a sidewalk that, like the people on Cliff Street, if there was gonna be a sidewalk in, the developer should have put it in.
Or does that mean the village would have to put a
Well,
connection in it, so.
Yeah, we may. Or-
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no,
I
it's a
don't
good,
think-
it's a legit,
you're
and
gonna
we,
have people hit.
we have talked about all of it joining. And I think the developers out there will have to do their part to get it here. And when we get to that point, if we get to that point in my lifetime, they may have to pay for it all the way in. That might be something that we work in.
Well, just something
Yeah.
to bring up, cause we even brought up the path out to Alt Park. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I know there's the floating, I call it the floating sidewalk out there.
Right,
But still, I mean,
Right.
where do we start?
There's no sidewalks between your brother's house and
no,
the rest of the.
No, but it was
There's
brought
nothing.
up at the
It's
last
it.
meeting.
Well, his is silly. I guess my point is, I don't know, at some point, if you got old cars that don't meet modern day standards for safety, whatever, you got an old car, and so be it. At some point, that's gonna catch up with it. At some point, like, if you want sidewalks and walkability, I don't know, to me, it sounds dangerous. I know you're gonna get people in here mad that they gotta build a new house, put a sidewalk in. You'd be mad if you had to put a sidewalk in at your house, you know, it doesn't go anywhere, but at some point. if
I would have to do that
it's
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
as it
300
stands
foot
right
of
now,
sidewalk
he's
that
required
does
to.
nothing.
right.
Well, but you don't have it, right?
No.
Right. No one's.
What he's saying is if on both sides of you ended up putting sidewalks in,
I'm saying though.
who would be responsible for it then?
What
If
happens,
they put sidewalks in beside me, I don't have a problem putting a sidewalk in. But I don't wanna put a sidewalk there that's.
You were the only one.
Yes, when you're the only
I don't
one.
wanna be the only one, because then that's people in my yard for what reason, they shouldn't even be there in the first place. There's no sidewalk to go there. Kings don't have enough road frontage to put a sidewalk in, I don't think, cause the house is so close to the road. There might be, I don't know.
I'm gonna drive to your house just to walk on your sidewalk
are,
and give you a thumbs up.
what about Woods' lots? That just got developed, okay? So those lots are gonna get developed, built on, sold, there's no sidewalks there. I'm just saying, like, at what point, then if there's development on down the road there,
Well, but you're talking about multiple houses, we're not talking about one house. Correct? I mean, if somebody puts in 4 houses, they gotta put in sidewalks.
alright, but then are you gonna be happy if they put in sidewalks? And then they come to you and say, you gotta put in your
Well, that's what he just said, he would.
That's what I would do. I
He'd
mean,
have
if
to,
it-
yeah.
If it connects me to them, yes. And I know it's gonna go to Holder Road, I have no problem putting a sidewalk in. But there's two properties before me that's not gonna put
None.
a sidewalk in.
Right.
Right.
The one lady's doing good at mowing her grass. So, I know she's not gonna put a sidewalk in.
That's something we need to talk about, and Brandy, to your credit, we have talked about joining those developments eventually, and we'll have to figure that out. But,
I just wanted to make that.
yeah, that's a good point to bring up. I'll probably be dead, but it'll be a good, it is something to talk about for sure. So I would at least at this point come up with something for us to read, Jeff, and then we'll have to ponder it out. 'Cause we can beat this thing all night long on the sidewalks.
All right, so, let's finish up here. Anything else? Any other new business? I went to the visitors. Next meeting is gonna be held on the fourth Monday in April, April 27th at 6 PM if we need it, I guess. And, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Okay, with that, we need to move right along.
Yeah, yes,
Safety
ma'am.
committee. Just move for a minute here to switch gears.
He's got his fancy shirt on. He can shift gears fast.
Okay. Pat.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, roll call.
McCreary,
Present.
Schaffner,
At present.
Carroll,
Okay, and also in attendance, we have Mayor Rick Ellis, we also have Mr. Baco, solicitor, Matt Rogers, chief, Matt Nyheiser, VA, Brian Dibbler, of course, and we also have Gar Phillips in attendance, and we also have Phil McLean in attendance, Rick Foreman in attendance, and then we also have visitors. Approval of minutes from February 23rd.
I will move to approve those.
I'll second.
All in favor? I must abstain. I was not
Aye.
here. So Debbie is.
well, I need to fix that then. Oh,
It
wait,
says I was
No,
excused.
it says she was excused.
oh,
says I was
I'm looking at the November 24th minutes, never mind, okay.
Yeah, I read that, I'm excused.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Visitors, is there anybody who'd like to speak tonight? Okay. All right. Safety committee. Okay. Let's move on then to 2026 goals. We still have the goal 0 workplace accidents, we are at 0 for the year. 0 fatal accidents, we remain at 0. Reports at this time,
I don't have anything to report.
okay? Police department,
I do have something. So, Company Street, if you've ever been up Company Street, it's like that wide. And, there's a concern about people were starting to park on Company Street. And, where there is no parking signs on there. But, I spoke with the fire department today. They've got concerns that they can't get equipment up there if anybody's parked on the street, period. So,
Why are they all of a sudden parking on there, or?
it must be some
Okay.
people that moved in maybe one of those apartments.
Company Street,
So if, I
gotta
guess
see
at
where
this
it's at.
point, I'd like y'all to maybe just take a look up there and see what I'm talking about. And I think, I think it would be, advantageous to make that no parking up through there for everybody's benefit.
right, it's extremely narrow on that hill, that knoll, at the top of that little knoll on Company.
Yeah, even the rest, like I went there today and was on call there, which kind of brought this a little more to light. And, when I parked in the street, cause I couldn't get in their driveway and looked, and it just, before I even walked up to the house, I was like, man, you could not get in here with even another car without
Right.
going in the grass. You can see where people have gone in the grass to get around people in some of those houses up there, so,
Jamie just tried to explain to me, give me another visual where it's
Company
at.
Street, Casey Farmers Street.
Oh, yeah. They park on that street?
They do. And,
Oh,
and-
yeah.
That's new, cause that's not been the case.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
You live back there, don't you?
yeah.
Right, I'm on the corner of North.
On the
Mountain.
end.
yeah. I think there's some new people living in one of the apartments over there that are doing it,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
There was a truck parked there, and I had never seen anyone park, Mrs. Gray's. I'm like, why is
So
there?
what do we need to do? Get no parking signs, or what do we gotta do?
well, you gotta pass that by ordinance for no parking.
Can we bring that as an order? That's, cause I know that street and you can't park on there.
Well, I spoke with Casey at length about it today.
Yes.
And he definitely agreed. He said if there's anything sitting there,
Yeah.
we can't even get the medic pass, let alone a fire
Right.
truck. And so anybody
Maybe it's
going
that
to
water,
Brandy's house, the fire truck's gonna go down Company Street only to realize they can't get down Company
I
Street.
can't have a heart attack there.
yeah.
That's right.
I hope it's not that water clerk girl parking out on the street,
Yeah, right.
cause she lives up there.
It's not. It's,
Could be.
So you're saying we need to suggest an ordinance move to,
that's what I would suggest, and mostly in the interest of safety.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
Because, emergency
100%.
vehicles can't get
I can't believe people
At
park
one
on
time,
that.
we had even proposed, it was just someone had proposed the idea of making that a one-way, just north only on that strip,
Yep.
because you cannot see, so if you're going south on North Company, you
Well, the other
can't see
side-
on that knoll, like it's,
Well, the rest of the company's already one way.
so.
So,
The first block's one way.
Yeah.
I know,
First
well, that's
block's
why we had
one way.
said, just make the rest of that continuous to that stop sign, but it didn't go anyplace.
Well, I remember
Well-
we talked about that.
Yeah.
Well, it, somehow it evolved into a changing all the streets in town in 25 miles per hour.
But it's easy for people to go out
It
just
is.
Maple rather than speeding,
Yeah, we need to know
On that
parking for
street.
sure.
and it
Change
happens
the no parking.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it doesn't change the no parking thing, but that's my suggestion. I mean, obviously, if you want to
So,
Yeah.
look at it,
Okay,
maybe drive up there if you haven't driven up there.
There's not
and
a
see what
question.
we're
It,
talking about,
yeah,
what we're talking-
there was a car parked, I
Alright.
couldn't get my car through
so
there.
does anyone want to move to make an ordinance propose an ordinance for no parking signs on Company Street?
I will move for an ordinance for no parking signs on Company Street, is that what you want? Okay.
From where to where?
From,
Washington Street
Maple.
to West
To
Maple.
Maple, yep.
And is it one way?
It is not.
It is not, that
Okay,
section
so
is
is it
not.
no parking on both sides of the street?
Yes.
Yes.
So do we wanna do from 256?
No, because that's wide.
That's
enough
okay?
there.
It's-
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, there
That's
are cars
super
that park
wide,
there all the
actually.
time.
That's wide.
It's
That's
e-
just what's so weird about
Yeah.
it.
But there's only like 4 houses on that part of that street
Yeah.
too, so, yeah, it's, I can't believe people are parking on
Okay,
there.
there's also the sign down. Did you see that? No outlet signs down, I was gonna bring that.
Let Matt know that, and we'll get that fixed.
It's at the intersection of North Company and West Maple. It's in my yard.
so do you want to review this at the next meeting, or do you want to?
No,
just-
we should just, let's just get it up.
All right.
There we go.
We have a motion, do we get a second?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I will.
all right then,
All in favor?
aye.
aye.
Wow. Okay. Is there anything else, Chief?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, old business, we have none. New business, building department, I believe this is Mr. Nyheiser.
Yes, so I asked Brandy if I could just have about 5 to 6 minutes. I put together a document that I included. I think I sent a separate email. I think Connie also included it in the safety packet. But I just kind of wanted to walk through it. I think some of the things some of the discussion that we had at the last meeting about the building department, I tried to synthesize some of that information, make it succinct, readable, understandable, but I'd like to walk down through that with you. So really, I've had 3 sections. One's on the relationship between the zoning and building department and the workflow currently as it is. And then the second section was a series of questions that I asked in relationship to the Residential Code of Ohio and the relationship with the Ohio Revised Code, as well as some questions about can we make it more, can we make the building department building code more strict? Can we relax areas of it? I tried to answer that question, and then the third section was on how the process of creating a certified building department and the process of dissolving it. I won't go over that tonight. I just included that in case there was a question about how we got it, and then if there was ever a question about wanting to dissolve it, what's the process to do that? So the first section here is on the zoning and building department's relationship and workflow. So the process for construction within the village limits is divided into two distinct phases: the zoning phase and the building phase. Zoning determines location and usage, whereas the building department ensures technical compliance. So with phase one, zoning approval is the where and the what of building. Before any construction begins, the zoning department acts as the gatekeeper for both residential and commercial projects within the village. The way this process goes is not something like this. This is how the process goes. First is a submission. An applicant submits a zoning permit application to the village office. Then the zoning administrator, who's currently me, reviews the application for compliance with the Village of Baltimore zoning code. The administrator, myself, often contacts the applicant for additional information and scheduling on-site meetings or drive-bys to see where property's been staked out. And then last part of that process, the administrator officially approves or denies the permit. Just a couple of other bits of information I thought important as far as compliance. The administrator implements the zoning code, so the administrator certainly doesn't make up the zoning code, nor does he have the right to ignore certain parts of it, and that zoning code is passed by the village council. If the code is wanting to be amended, only the village council has the authority to amend the code. And any appeals, all residents have a right to appeal denied zoning applications to the Board of Zoning Appeals that meets the second Thursday of each month. So that's zoning, okay? All building goes through zoning. If they get approval to build, the where and what they want to build, setbacks, minimum lot sizes, stuff like that. If they get permission, then it gets kicked over to the building department. And once the zoning permit is issued, the project moves to the building phase to address technical requirements and safety codes. The workflow branches depending on the type of project. And that's because of this. When in dealing with commercial projects, applicants must make and get approval from zoning. But once they get approval from zoning, all commercial projects go to the county, who does the county building department, who oversees the technical regulations for commercial property. So like I don't do any of that with retail, restaurant, commercial, all that's through the county. So that what we're doing in-house is residential projects. Residential projects remain under the jurisdiction of the village building department. And the application process is like this. The applicant submits building permits to the village. The chief building officer reviews the application and communicates with the applicant if further details are required. Inspections, the applicant coordinates with the inspector to schedule building inspections. Compliance, the chief building officer ensures all work follows the Residential Code of Ohio, assists residents with compliance and approval. Amending the code, only the Board of Building Standard has the authority to amend the Residential Code of Ohio, and all residents do have a process of appeals, whether that be locally or through, in some cases, the board itself. So that's how, regardless of who we have do the inspection mechanism, whether it's an individual or whether it's safe built, the village has contracted with other companies who have provided that. Regardless of who's doing the enforcement mechanism, that is the process that we follow with the certified building department. So that moves on to the second part of this hopefully brief presentation, and that's the legal framework, the relationship between state mandates and local authority. And so there were three questions I was trying to answer. And the first was, what's the relationship between the Ohio Revised Code and the Residential Code of Ohio? And the relationship between the state law and administrative rules defines how building codes are governed and enforced in certified building departments. So the Ohio Revised Code is the legal mandate passed by the General Assembly. The Ohio Revised Code grants the Board of Building Standards the power to create rules for building construction. It establishes the why and the who, defining building types and setting the framework for how local departments are certified and codes enforced. The Residential Code of Ohio then is the technical rules. part of the Ohio Administrative Code, the Residential Code of Ohio contains the actual technical minimums, and that's what they are. It's the floor. It's the very least. These administrative rules have the full force and effect of law because power is granted to the Board of Building Standards by the Ohio Revised Code. So just whereas, like in the zoning portion of things, the village council sets the code, and then we just, on the administrative side, enforce the code, I can't change the code. That has to go through you all. The same would be true with the certified building department. We can't pick and choose. It has to be according to what they've decided. So then that was my two questions. Can local standards be stricter? And without belaboring the issue, generally stated, no, they can't. Now, there are things that the Residential Code of Ohio doesn't address, like it doesn't address fences, and it doesn't address swimming pools. So currently, none of that is overseen by our building department. It's only a zoning thing. And because it's a zoning thing, we can change zoning laws. We don't have the authority to change Residential Code of Ohio laws. And then lastly here, can a municipality choose not to enforce portions of the RCO? And the short answer is no. If a municipality is certified, enforcement is an all or nothing commitment to the uniform standard. So when we applied for certification, we were saying to them, if you grant us a building department, a certified building department, we promise to adhere by these set of state minimums. And so mandatory enforcement, according to Ohio Revised Code, a building official shall enforce the rules of the BBS. Local officials cannot waive or ignore state mandated safety standards due to personal disagreement or resident burden. And then it goes on to talk about how if we would do that, it would risk risk our certification. I talked to the Board of Building Standards today and had just a slew of questions for them, somewhat related to this, somewhat not related. But basically, they said that we'd be placed on probation. There's never any fine. BBS doesn't have the right to set fines or to enforce fines, but they can put you on probation. Ultimately, decertification would happen if a building department were found to be only enforcing portions of that. So from my perspective, and that's all this is, this right here is an opinion statement, all right? I think the question that council may want to ask, and again, I'm not instructing, I'm just my opinion. I think the first question that needs to be answered is, does the village council really want a certified building department through the state of Ohio? There have been times, like prior to 2006 in my research, and it was very basic, we did not have a building department. So we weren't enforcing, we didn't have the authority, we didn't have a certified building department, we weren't held to enforce those standards. After that, we've had it. Sometimes we've had individuals enforcing it. Sometimes we've had companies enforcing it. Large periods of time, we've had nobody enforcing it, which makes us non-compliant. So from my perspective, the first question before talking about who enforces it, I think maybe the first question is this really something village council wants? And if the answer is no, then whether we use Safe Build or somebody else is really a moot point. If the answer is yes, then the question then becomes, who do we want enforcing it? Do we want an outside company? Do we want an individual? Now, with that being said, my last statement, I have a meeting with Jim Camp on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about some of this. And he assures me that we have options. He didn't get into them, and I didn't ask because I knew we were meeting. So he says that we have some other options other than just, well, I didn't go in further asking him, so I'm not going to speculate. But he says we have other options. I'll find more about that on Wednesday, and I can report back at a later meeting.
Yeah.
Some people may say, well, who's Jim Camp? He ran the Licking County Building Department for a number of years, I think close to a decade.
Yeah.
So he does have a lot of background.
Yeah. So if there are other options, I would think Mr. Camp would know what those are.
Yeah, I'd just say we table that till you talk to him and you come back and report about what we should do.
We just know there was questions of how much we were spending, and Matt also provided you guys,
Yeah, I saw that.
it's basically a wash. What we've taken in went out, so.
Right. We're not spending a bunch of money on it. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Brady.
No, thank you, that was informative.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing all of that. Are there any questions? Anybody wants to?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, if we did away with our own building department, those inspections are still, or those requirements, are the counties picking that up, or
Nope.
just?
No.
So the county does not do residential building.
Okay,
They only oversee they only
Commercial.
oversee commercial.
okay.
But that was, I was a little confused by whether, I thought it was required.
Oh, yeah.
Except for plumbing.
Plumbing, they do oversee plumbing
County would do
for a
plumbing
new
no
build.
matter what, yeah.
So all the new builds, they would come in and do inspections on
And
plumbing.
it is not a requirement. If you say you're gonna have one, you have to have one. If you say you don't, you don't.
Okay.
So that's something for all of us to think about.
So, I'm worried about the residents, I guess, with an insurance company denying their claim, saying this wasn't permitted properly or whatever because we didn't have somebody doing that. I mean, is that an issue?
I think about that in quality standards.
Sure, I mean, I agree, I think we need that.
I
I think
think,
it's gonna be discussion that's gonna be ongoing.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
we're
think
gonna
once you
have
talk to
discuss
Mr.
this
Camp and
further.
see what the other
Today it's not
options
gonna be
are,
the time.
Yeah.
and then we go from there.
In my experience, I've built a lot.
I mean, are they gonna get up on the roof and inspect your shingle? I don't know, they don't usually do that. The insurance company sends a company out, they check it, they cut them a check, they tell them to do it, and then they go on.
Again, I think with our time, I think it is gonna be something we're gonna have to
Yeah,
mull
we'll have to
over.
mull it over
We're
and
gonna
then
have future
see what the other
discussion.
options are with
Do we
Mr.
have a
Camp.
certain timetable by which, that was the question?
Yeah, we renew with the safe building.
Well, yes, there is stipulation in the contract, and for the life of me, I can't recall it. I think it might be 90 days. At
90
any
days.
point, we can give a notice.
Okay,
I believe it's
60 days. It's either they can give us a 60-day notice, or we can give them a 60.
It automatically
After
renews
renewal?
absent.
It on.
Yeah.
But if we tell them now,
No, at any
No.
time.
At any time.
at any time, okay,
Yeah. And
60-day
without
notice.
Any reason?
even if the renewal date's the
Okay.
25th,
Well, it would automatically renew, but the next day, theoretically, the village could say, oh, by the way, we're giving you a.
right, but I'm saying if we can't, like, say, next meeting we cancel, or we choose to cancel.
That's not
so it
60 days.
should die off the 25th because we're not renewing up to the 25th.
No, it's not 60 days notice.
And I hate to do this, but we've gotta move along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6:58. So, there's something on here, new business, water heaters.
That fall under safe bill.
I'm okay with moving it to the
Okay.
next.
So if we could move that on, that would be great. So our next meeting is going to be April 27th at 6:30 PM or immediately following rules. Is there anyone who'd like to move to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
A second that.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Randy.
Oh.
Our next meeting's when?
Pardon?
Our next meeting's when?
It is April 27th.
Would council like, instead of waiting to the next safety meeting, like the meeting with Mr. Camp, some of these questions about the renewal, can we bring that to service next time? That way we're not waiting a whole month
And
to discuss that.
one more thing I'd like to just have an idea, when we're talking about, let's say, a typical case, I don't know what that might be, but let's talk about processing. When you're moving that from the front office through,
Yeah.
and that component as far as, let's say, Missy through.
Yeah.
How long does that take versus the processing through? Just, it would be interesting to know, cause time is money.
Do you want to know that now, or do you want me to have
No,
that ready?
later.
Okay.
But just
And I could
kind of
even
an
include that in
idea.
an email.
And typically, how many is she putting through in a week? You know,
building permits?
yes. So, but she typically has been the one that's been taking
So,
on some
so
of the
in-house,
older-
in-house, we do all zoning. And then once they get a zoning application, when they create an account with Community Core, which is the online portal, we mark it that it is past zoning.
Okay.
And then they can sign up for all their permitting, and they do that all electronically.
But before, she was dealing with a lot more paperwork, correct? Okay.
You ready? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brian, could I get a roll call, please?
Carroll,
Yes.
Foreman, McCreary,
Present.
McLean,
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
Schaffner.
Present.
Can I get an approval on the minutes from March 9th, last council meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from March 9th as presented.
I'll second
Any discussion on that? Can I get a roll call on that, please?
Foreman, Carroll,
it. Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Four makes a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
McCreary seconds.
Roll call on that, please, Brian?
Foreman,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay, I notice we do have some visitors. Are there any visitors that would like to address council?
Yes, Jack Phillips.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. My name's Jack Phillips. I'm with Frontier Communications, and I wanted to just kind of give you a heads up. We have a really big project planned for the village to upgrade our network. We're planning on deploying fiber throughout the village and the surrounding area. It'll be a major upgrade to our network. It's replacing our legacy copper network that desperately needs to be replaced. It's designed to deliver right now 10 gig symmetrical service. The upload speed for all of our services are the same as the download speeds. During the pandemic, we learned that upload speeds were just as critical as download speeds. The network will actually, with some modification, deliver 25 gig symmetrical service, which right now initially we'll only offer 7 gig symmetrical service. There isn't a lot of demand for that. We've been bumping the speeds up as the demand for the service for those level of services increases. The other end of the spectrum, we're offering a over 200 megabit service, which again is symmetrical for $29.99 a month, and that's before a low income discount that we offer. We offer a $9.25 lifeline credit for qualifying low income households, which brings a really good service down to about $21 a month, and that includes all the equipment. Right now we're not charging any installation fees. We're in the process, we're finishing up the engineering for the project. We'll basically, where we have aerial facilities today, we'll have aerial. Where we have buried facilities, we'll bury the fiber. We'll have to do the permitting process. The timeline right now, we're still kind of juggling with our contractor in terms of what the timing will be, but I will get back with you to let you know ahead of time on that. We have a door hanger that we put on people's doors that has a direct contact name and number that they can contact for any issues that they have. Lets them know what's going on, and it's not for ordering services, not to a call center. It's to a group that handles only issues if we've got a hole or we haven't replaced sod in somebody's yard.
So that was my question. Will this be like on a pole or it will be in the ground?
So it'll be on a pole where we have pole today. It'll be buried where we have buried today. And we will run past everyone's home, all the businesses. We won't actually run a dropper up to the house, obviously, until we get a request for service. But usually we can turn those around in 3 to 4 days. So get service turned up pretty quickly.
Will this project include removal of all the old obsolete copper?
So eventually, yes. The issue is this. We are an incumbent telecommunications provider, and I won't blame AARP, but I've done a lot of legislative work in Ohio over the years, and we've made, and that's part of why we're kind of slow in terms of upgrading our network. We as the incumbent provider have this carrier of last resort obligation, and there's been a big push because of heart monitors and things like that, fax machines which are now outdated, alarm systems, that there's been a successful lobby for retaining the copper network. As soon as we get the okay, we will transition any new customers we have will offer, or anybody that wants a fiber-based product, we'll put them on the fiber network. We will be removing the copper as soon as we can. Actually, the FCC has kind of stepped in on this. They want a more rapid network modernization. And they're actually we have to go through two steps. One, we have to get approval from PUCO, the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio. Second, we have to get permission from the FCC to transition customers and retire our copper network. But the FCC is moving very quickly in terms of policy change to expedite that. So it is coming, but it won't be immediate. Any other questions? We'll be back again. I'll give you an update as soon as we know what the timing's going to be. But wanted to let you know that it is coming. There is hope here, and it's a really good service, and our pricing's really attractive. No contracts, so it'll be, I think, really good for consumers and as well as the businesses here that need really fast, reliable speeds.
Any changes to the building you have over here?
Not that I know, but
I'm your next door neighbor, but
okay. Not that I know, but actually, the equipment that we have when we replace, the good news is we'll eventually be replacing that older equipment that takes up more space, and be able to sort of downsize the amount of equipment we have, which may ultimately lead to replacement of the building or a smaller footprint than we have today.
You may not know the answer to this question. Do we still have a Frontier Rob in town? I mean, do you know Frontier Rob? He was like our personal frontier man here in town.
I don't know him, but I
Okay.
can check.
Frontier Rob was his name.
I know who you're talking about, oddly enough.
Is he still around?
I haven't seen him in a while.
I haven't either. And I had another question. So, and I might have missed this because I'm a little hearing impaired. So, if I have Frontier service now, I mean, will it affect me in some? Will I lose service at any point?
No. So you'll have an option. I mean, we'll encourage people to automatically take the fiber service to switch over. The broadband is light years ahead of what we're offering today on a DSL basis, and the voice service is much more attractive. It's got unlimited long distance. We don't have some of the federal fees that we have to impose with the legacy copper network. So it'll be a much more attractive offer. I mean, most customers are going to want to switch.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited
Me
for
too.
some competition in this area, much needed competition.
Yeah, and I guess I would say, we don't have contracts with our services month to month, and we really don't need to. Customers really are happy with our service. It's very reliable, much more reliable than our copper network. As you probably know, I mean, if we have something goes wrong with our copper, we're struggling to find copper pairs that are good, or if something's damaged, we've got to replace a larger segment because it just can't be rehabilitated. So, good news on the horizon.
Well, thank you for coming and informing
Oh,
us.
there is one other thing I'll mention. If you remember, we were owned by a Verizon company previously. Actually, Verizon just purchased us back, so we are a Frontier, a Verizon company. So that's one other thing we'll probably be offering. It isn't integrated today, but we'll probably also be offering a bundle that includes wireless service.
Super.
I appreciate the opportunity to
Yeah,
be here.
of
Thanks so
course.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other visitors like to make any comments or yell?
Beth, you got anything?
Step up.
I don't know yet.
It's your time, bud. Come on, shine.
Okay. All right, if nothing back there,
Do we need to project?
What's in the backpack? Yeah. What's in the backpack? You going skydiving after the meeting?
A recording device. Haven't we had that before? We did have that before.
we have. All right, so we're going to go into village administrator reports.
I don't have any, oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Forgive me. You're
Yeah,
first.
thank you.
Yes, I know.
All I was going to, I just have a few things, and that's, I would say, and I'm glad we're probably 99% approved for the money to do the water lines over. I mean, it sounds like we're 100% approved, but
It's been approved.
yeah, it's been approved. The other thing is that Tim did find out on Rome side that Columbia Gas are replacing all the gas lines on Rome side, which kind of coincides with replacing the water lines over there. And the good news about that is one of the major sticking points that I was worried about is the money that we were getting paid for half of the road if we replace the water lines up there. Well, that means that Columbia Gas will replace the other half, is what it sounds like when Tim and I talked to the Columbia Gas guy. So that alleviates some funding problems about, I mean, if we're going to replace the gas lines and the water lines, we might as well have new streets, which sounds like that's actually can happen. And hopefully midsummer to end of summer, that project could start. There is lots of stuff going on at the parks and the ball fields. They're getting a lot of stuff done. And with that, that's really all I have. Please, Matt.
Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, that's all right.
I don't have anything really to add to my report, just a couple of attachments that I had. I know we won't have probably time to talk about it today, but maybe in service, but I wanted to get you the water modeling map. There's 11 projects on there that have been identified as being immediate and critical needs as far as water line replacement. Those numbers are not, they could just as easily have bullet points. It's just all 11 of them are important to do. We can just kind of pick and choose. Well, we certainly can pick and choose which ones we want to do, but they're not numbered in number.
Urgency.
Yeah. Just
They're
look at
all
them.
urgent.
They're numbered, but they're all just bullet pointed. I also included a picture of a cross section of a couple pipes,
Yes.
just to kind of highlight not only is the infrastructure aging, but it's got stuff inside of it. So just as we think about water line replacement, just to emphasize why this is so important.
Yeah, and it's, you know, when the water pipes are 90 years old
Yeah.
and we're just now getting to them,
Yeah.
it is what it is. So doing the best we can with what we have to work with. Anything else, Matt?
Not for me, no.
Okay, Mr. Fiscal Officer Brian?
No, I really don't have anything.
Yes, sir. Mr. Solicitor?
Couple items, two new pieces of legislation on the agenda for first reading. The first is Resolution 2026-09, which is to authorize an advance from the general fund to the Urban Forestry Grant Fund. If this sounds familiar, it's because we passed a similar resolution within the last year. And there is emergency language, and because I believe the work has already started.
Yes, it has.
Okay. And then the second piece of legislation on for first reading is ordinance 2026-10, which is an ordinance establishing rates for the Baltimore swimming pool for the 2026 season. That has emergency language also because of pre-season sales then.
Yeah,
is
we'd
that-
like to get that information out as soon as possible to residents.
No second readings, two items on for third reading. The first is 2026-04, which is to rezone several parcels out on Baltimore Somerset Road. No emergency language in that. The second is ordinance 2026-05. I'm gonna ask the council table that ordinance because I need to do some additional research on that. And so I'm gonna ask that council consider tabling that. After regular business, I would ask for a motion to go into executive session for two topics. And so I'm gonna ask that this be in 2 sessions. The first session is going to be to discuss economic development. Everybody at the table is welcome to attend that. The second session is to discuss pending litigation. Everybody at the table, but I'm gonna excuse Mr. McLean from that one. And that's all I have.
Okay. Go to village committee reports, finance. Village committee reports, finance.
Finance?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's you, Rick.
Not used to that.
Glad it wasn't me.
I didn't know if it was
We-
Phil or if it was.
We did not
Rick.
meet tonight, Mr. Mayor. Our next meeting is
13th.
on April 13th.
Okay, service committee,
Again.
That's Gar.
Oh, that one's Gar, yeah.
that one is good.
What, service?
Your
Yes,
service.
Yes, service.
We didn't meet, our next meeting, April 13th.
Yes, sir. Safety committee,
Yes, we met tonight and we discussed, some information regarding the building department, and we're given a lot of information from our VA. Our next meeting is going to be held April 27th at about 6:30.
yes, ma'am. Rules committee,
We did meet tonight. We did discuss a number of ordinances. Jeff will be, some of those are gonna go to council. And then Jeff will be researching the rest of those. Our next meeting will be April 27th at 6 PM.
okay. Chief, do you have any reports? Okay, good. Thank you. Jamie, do you have anything from the Boswell Joint Fire District?
Nothing, it's been pretty quiet.
Okay, good.
They're happy with that, so.
Yes, as we all are. Village committee and commissions, planning and zoning commission. Do you have anything?
Don't have anything to add.
Okay.
Anything to add?
Tree commission, we just talked about one of the ordinance that we have to read is so we can take the grant money that we got paid so we could pay the tree guys. Nothing for records, I assume, Brian?
Nope.
Okay, we'll go into motions.
I'll make a motion.
what-
Oh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go ahead.
We missed, but go ahead, yeah.
No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna make a motion to go into executive committee following regular meeting, with 2 sessions, first being economic development, will include everybody here at the table, and the second session being pending litigation. And who, you were excusing somebody, was it Philip? Okay. That's it.
Foreman seconds.
So I'm going to go into, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, roll call on that.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
McLean.
Abstain.
Carroll.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Okay, so now,
I have a motion I'd like to make also.
okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'd like to see us remove 2021-24 on impervious surface.
Foreman seconds.
Enlighten me about that, I'm sorry.
What?
Impervious surface?
Restricting the amount of impervious surface on a particular parcel. In the ordinance, there's language that gives you a percentage of lot coverage that can be impervious, and that impervious surface includes gravel, which is not actually.
Oh, so run this
Legitimate,
by me
but-
again. You made a motion for what?
2021-24 impervious surface.
So what would this do?
Nothing.
So I have a question. That's an ordinance you're referring to?
Yes.
So you're wanting to rescind
Repeal
the
it.
ordinance?
Rescind. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
Oh.
need an ordinance to do that, but, I can prepare it as far as that goes. I mean, you can go ahead with your motion, but I'll need to prepare an ordinance to do that.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask a question, yeah.
Like, where did this come from? I mean,
This came from the previous village administrator. She was at her home overhearing a meeting between her husband and someone else, and some other village proposed this, and she thought it sounded like a good idea for us as well.
So what does it
no, I
do?
meant, where did this come from? Like, I mean, we've never talked about it previously.
No, I've actually made the motion to do this prior
There's a
to
case
this.
right now, correct me if I'm wrong, or an instance right now where a gentleman is wanting to put a shed in
Yeah.
or something of that nature.
And he's
he ain't
not
got
allowed-
enough green
he's not allowed to.
space After to put the shed in, so it's limiting what you can do on your property.
Maximum lot coverage.
Yeah, maximum lot coverage.
Yeah, and so people with small lots are, like my own, are inordinately, unfairly disadvantaged as to what we're allowed to do on our property.
Yes.
It's like 30% or something.
35.
40 in R3.
And then I'm here in the mixed use district and I can have 80% of mine.
Yeah.
And the thought behind that being that it
Mostly
keeps like R3, you'd keep neighborhoods feeling like neighborhoods, not. I think that's some of the thought behind it.
So does it go to 100% then? If you rescind it, does it mean you can have 100% coverage?
It means we don't really.
There was a whole lot of conversation, and I was part of
What do
this.
you do with the water runoff?
And that was what a lot of this was about. It was all dealing with runoff of the water. So this wasn't just a random, there was a whole lot of discussion that went into that. And it was increased from 35 to 40, if I'm not mistaken. There was a lot. I have to look back on my
Gravel
notes.
is not.
So for clarification.
Yeah, I agree.
Gravel piece is ridiculous.
Gravel, even though they said it's considered,
But the purpose of including gravel was so that people wouldn't tear out their concrete driveway and put in a gravel one just to be able to fall within the limitation.
Wow, you.
I never
Nuts to
heard that bit.
tear your gra-
Yeah.
your concrete.
Well, I mean, why else would you include gravel? Because it's
Yeah,
just
but
not
you're
even
including
legit.
gravel,
Yeah.
like in different instances, gravel driveway is taking up a
Actually,
spot
take
where
in,
You needed to
there
put a
is no
shed in.
grass. Then you can't put a shed in.
right.
For instance, if Phil wants to put a pool in behind his house, he can't. Because his garage is already there. He's got enough room for a pool, if you look at it, but it says he can't do it. By impervious surface.
And as far as stormwater runoff, I mean, legitimately, you should run your stormwater to a stormwater.
You put concrete around it
Receptacle.
or whatever, I mean, it's gonna take up space.
How this has to do with space,
And-
has to do with, like, say, the pool counts.
It's
Yeah.
not giving you.
Yeah,
it's
the
not-
pool
counted,
counts.
I remember
The
that
pool,
specific.
that came up very specifically,
Yeah,
that the
that
surface
was
area of the
a
pool,
specific point.
which does not discharge water, was also included.
So what we're saying
Those are
is,
some ridiculous things.
There are ridiculous things in it, but,
To turn it to 100% rooftop.
well,
is
I guess what I would give as an example is German Village, where people have landscaping and brick gardens and houses, and there's almost no green space, no grass at all. And those are gorgeous $1 million houses, and requiring grass on your lot doesn't make the place any.
I don't think
Better.
it was just that
That
we
was the
required
purpose, 'cause I was
grass,
doing
but
zoning at that time when this was all going on, so, and I don't remember that. It had nothing to do with green space, it had to do with
Yes.
the water runoff.
correct.
Period.
That's what,
That's how
it
I
all
remember
had to
as
do
the
it.
code enforcement
Grass was
guy.
never mentioned. That was not even part of the
So
conversation.
could the stormwater rate be tied to the percentage of coverage?
Well,
Columbus already does that.
But how's that affect your neighbor?
Well,
it's,
Not everybody
should be
runs down the
drainage,
street.
like
That's
you
the
said.
problem.
Columbus
That's the problem.
charges you a fee based on solid surface, but they don't care whether you run it on your neighbor or not. They do nothing about it.
so, okay, so what do you guys want to do? How do we do
So
this?
just
What's
for
the-
clarification, Mr. Carroll's motion is to have me draft legislation to rescind the.
Ordinance.
that ordinance.
And then we talk about it.
Well.
And I seconded it,
Yeah,
and this
okay.
is the discussion.
Yeah, so it's,
Okay.
you could go for a vote, it can be further discussed, obviously, because the ordinance that I prepare is gonna come back.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't going anywhere tonight. All we're doing tonight is giving Jeff
Okay.
authorization to prepare an
Prepare-
ordinance.
Okay, I just,
That's all.
So,
we're giving property rights to people of sort, correct? Which we should. The runoff, I don't know. When I hear of course, I mean, I don't have any neighbors, so it's easier for me. But I for the rest of, I don't know.
Well, take my house, for example. If I just decided to put a big old pool in my backyard
Yeah,
and covered my whole, I mean, I live on that hill,
right.
so everything from my property
Comes
is
down.
going to be running down,
Yeah.
across the alley into the next people's yard,
it already does.
Yeah, you're not
to
changing
some
what,
extent.
Well, I can show you a video. The neighbor
I mean,
across the
it's-
street shows a
my
video
property's wet,
that water
so
runs down
yes.
an alley when it's raining. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. The soil around here is not absorbing much
No, it's
water,
not.
no matter what you do to it.
I don't
Well-
think that's an argument though for 100% lot coverage.
Well, I guess we'll wait till the ordinance comes up and we can vote on it, correct?
And discuss it.
And discuss
discuss
it
it.
some more. Yeah. All right, so we all have something
Do
to
we
think
need
about.
to take a roll call on
Yes.
whether to have it
Yes.
presented or
Yeah.
prepared?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Carroll,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
and Schaffner.
Yes.
But we're still gonna talk about
It's
it.
just for discussion.
Yeah, just for discussion. Okay. Anybody else have any other motions? Okay, now I'm going to read the ordinances that are on there. The first ordinance, who would be the sponsor for this, or do we need a sponsor?
Where
for
I
this?
need a sponsor.
Miss Brandy, would you be the sponsor for this?
Sure.
It has to do with the tree commission, sort of.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So first reading, resolution 2026-09, a resolution authorizing an advance from the general fund to the urban forestry grant fund in the declaration of emergency.
Hold on, before we, hey Jeff, this hasn't gone through committee, so. There you go.
Okay. So in looking at resolution 2026-09, I would like to propose that we bypass with a declaration of emergency.
No, just to bypass committee first.
Oh, bypass committee, please.
Can we get a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay, wonderful.
And a discussion.
To what, oh, okay.
Roll call.
McCreary,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Now, a motion to suspend the three reading rule and declare the emergency.
Okay, so we would like to suspend the three reading rule of resolution 2026-09 and the declaration of emergency.
I'll second.
Okay, so just to explain for the new people, all we're doing is taking money from the general fund and giving it to the urban forestry fund, and then when the project's all completed, that money, it's just like a short-term loan, and it gets paid back when we get reimbursed everything. Okay, to suspend, McCreary,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay,
Jude,
motion to adopt, yes.
2026-09.
Foreman seconds.
Discussion, roll call.
McCreary,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
We good there, Brian?
Yep.
Okay, we're going right on to the next ordinance. Ordinance 26. I need a sponsor for this. This is so we can get the rates done for the pool. Can I have somebody
I'll
sponsor
sponsor
this?
it.
Thank you. Thank you, Gar. Ordinance 2026-10, an ordinance establishing rates for the Baltimore swimming pool for the 2026 and the declaration of an emergency. Sorry, yeah, I'm a little behind the times. We're right here. Yeah, what time is it? It's just so we can set the rates, so when the pool opens, we talked about the rates and stuff last time, and we seem to be in agreement on it.
So we're wanting to pass this tonight.
Yeah, just so it can be done and they can get it printed and post it, and so we can sell pool memberships.
He was good with all the change, or with the few changes we made?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And
there,
it has been through committee.
it has
Yeah,
been through
yes.
committee.
Yeah.
So we
This
just
came out of this. I believe this came out of finance. But
Yes, it
So
did.
Gar just needs to suspend and then adopt.
Let's suspend and adopt.
Okay.
One at a time. Foreman seconds on the suspend the three readings.
Deal there, Gar.
Foreman seconds Gar's motion to suspend three readings.
Okay. Phillips,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yeah.
McCreary.
Yes.
Foreman seconds Gar's motion to adopt.
Can we get a roll call on that?
Well, you have to have discussion.
Okay. Okay,
Well, wait, yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm getting confused. Discussion comes next, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is the discussion.
No, we're having the discussion about the
This is
pool
the
reading.
discussion
I
to,
just wanna make sure, I mean, last time that we talked about this, we talked about, the parties and counting them as they went in, so, and we're gonna make sure that beforehand, but what I just don't wanna see is somebody saying that they have, what is the cutoff?
50.
50? Somebody says, I'm gonna have 40 people, and then that night, some people said, hey, come, we're having a party, and then you have 60, and does the person have to say, 10 people have to stay out?
No.
No, they just have
They
to
just,
pay.
they just pay additional
Agreed.
20
Establish
bucks.
a
Is
head
it an
count.
additional lifeguard, and how do you get them in right, like that, like that?
If I could address this. So I met with Brett McAvoy today. I'd sent him the changes that council had made at the last meeting, and that being one, right? And he had concerns about that as well. And his concern is that very thing. He says, you know, if we have somebody who says we're going to have 48 guests, and he said, and then they've got family from in a town or something, whatever, and they're like, hey, why don't you guys all come? It'll just cost you $2. And he goes, and then it kicks it up past 50, then they need more lifeguards. So he's concerned about that as well. What he recommended is that we would offer something like a package 1, package 2, package 3, and they're all based on 50. And then a resident would just come in and choose which package that they would want. And then that way, in advance, he would make sure he has enough life instructors. But we just talked about that today, and so he wasn't ready to really move forward with it. He
Okay.
wanted some time to think about it.
Okay.
So
So we
I
can't
don't-
pass this
I don't know
resolution.
what, or we could amend that one portion. It's up to council what they would want to do.
Or do you know what he's gonna wanna amend it to?
I think that's what he's gonna want. I think he's gonna want to do, he's gonna ask council to not do the $2 a head because it just becomes too unwieldy in regards to bringing in lifeguards, but he did not.
Well, should
That was
we
his
wait
gut
on this?
response.
So it's not ready to be adopted then?
That's
No.
correct, not last year.
Nope, we'll have to do it at the next meeting. But he's got until the next meeting
Yeah.
to figure out,
Yeah.
so we can at least
can
all
do it.
talk
And
about
to
it.
his defense, he did not know about that.
Yeah, it's
today.
okay. It's
So-
okay. Yeah.
So,
All right.
what do we do
That
now,
was
Jeff?
my
That's why
concern.
I asked him.
I would,
He's
whoever
good
made
with
the
it.
motion
Yeah.
to adopt, I would ask them to withdraw it.
I make a motion, we withdraw the
I'll
adoption.
second it.
You don't even need to, you can just withdraw it.
Okay. All right. Second readings, we have none. We have a third ordinance reading, which is, the sponsor is Mr. Foreman. An ordinance to rezone 0 Baltimore Somerset Road, a 4.773 acre parcel known as parcel number 0240257620 and 5 Baltimore Somerset Road, a 2.955 acre parcel known as parcel number 024-025-7700 to Suburban Family Residential, R2. That is the property over by Creekview. The gentleman
No.
wants,
Is it?
isn't it?
No, this is Rogers,
Oh, I'm sorry.
east on
We already passed
256.
that, yes. Is there any discussion on that?
Well, he has
Okay, so this one is went through planning and zoning. This is Roger Woods, east of town. He requested an R3 rezone and was rejected on that, and was approved for an R2 rezone and some lot splits. And it's been through 3 readings, so Foreman makes a motion to adopt.
McCreary seconds.
well, actually, this is a third reading, so, yeah.
This is, yeah.
Should we do,
McCurry seconded that? Okay.
so now we just need
Well,
a,
unless there's some
Discussion and then roll call.
Wasn't there didn't we discuss previously the drainage?
But that's separate from this.
Yeah.
That, when
This
he,
is the zoning
this is
aspect.
just
We
the
still have
zoning.
to approve his plat
Yeah.
plan.
and
Yeah.
when he brings in his plans, and he still, that's when his job comes in.
oh, and we'll have to go over that very
Yeah,
thoroughly
I
too.
had a good conversation with him about that the other day.
Hmm.
A week
Well, that's
and a half
good.
ago.
Well, I'm
Okay.
confident in you guys doing that.
Yeah. Okay. The last ordinance we're
Nope,
not
roll
gonna
call,
read-
roll call.
Oh, roll call, sorry.
Foreman,
Yes.
McCurry,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay, and the last ordinance we're gonna put that
I'm
one on.
asking for a motion to table it.
Can I have a motion to table that?
I also move,
Which,
we're tabling, ordinance 2026-05.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Can we get a roll call on that?
Softener, McLean.
Tabled ordinances, there are none?
Well, hold on, I haven't done the roll call.
Roll call on this one.
You threw me for a loop because Foreman's the sponsor.
Yeah, I know. She got ahead of me. She got ahead of me. I'm sorry.
it
I'm
threw
usually
me.
pretty quick on that, but she got ahead of me.
Okay, so let's go with Schaffner,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Now, there are no more tabled ordinances, so with that,
Well, you can do old business, new business, the last call for visitors. And
Okay.
we can do
yeah, let's do that. Is there any old business that somebody would like to talk about?
I just want to bring up that I had mentioned about Senate Bill 63 last time that affects home rule, and it was signed by the governor, which means home rule is essentially dead in the state of Ohio, really. I mean, it's at least it's crumbling. And our organization does not have standing to take this to court, although there are a couple organizations that are looking at it right now. But home rule is in very bad shape in the state of Ohio right now.
Anybody else have any old business?
Senate Bill 63 is.
Any new business to talk about?
I do have a little bit, no, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you find out what the streetlights you was gonna call in? We had like 20 some streetlights that ain't working right?
We did call back in again.
Okay.
And we got no response?
Well, they put us on a list.
Yeah, that's getting to the point to where it's not acceptable. Do we still pay the electric bill?
Yes.
Regardless, yes.
You got to pay it regardless. Well, they'll all be off.
Get a discount.
Yeah, something.
Right.
Do we have a name for contact?
Tim has one. I'll get it now.
Yeah, and no, forward it to me. I'll call. They like when I call. So, any new business? I'm sorry.
I don't know if this is the appropriate time to say it, but if we've annexed new places, should we move our signs further out?
We do. We do.
Sometimes it's on both sides of the road.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
problem. Like out on Basel, it's not both sides of the road.
Forward to your house.
Or 256.
Yeah, or at my
on
house.
two sides.
Yeah.
We moved them on Holder a couple times.
Yeah, at
and,
my house,
we
it's not
moved
on
them
both
158
sides.
north of town a couple times.
That's why. Eventually, I would say, but if it's not on both sides of the road, you can't.
Well, on 158, we moved them north, even though it's one side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. At my house, it's before you get to my house. Even though I'm annexed in.
Just depends on where.
Yeah.
So if you live on the north side of 256, and outside of town, on the south side,
Right.
that would be 35 on one side and 55 on the other.
No.
That's the way Kirkersville was.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be that way here.
55 going one way and 35 the other. 'Cause
Any of the other visitors have anything else this evening? Yes, sir.
That one thing y'all were talking about, resolution or something, long time ago, when Terry Wise
the
was here.
impervious surface?
Yes, I was here. Now, I'm not real good in memory, but I thought part of the conversation was brought up was if somebody could go to their front yard and stone it all for a parking lot and make it impervious, so that the drainage thing, and that's what I thought. For some reason, I was thinking that, not swimming pools as much, but it was somebody doing a parking lot.
And we get a lot of that where people dump gravel in their front yard and park in front of their house.
You know, not
But-
always is just throwing 57 gravel down
Right.
to make it impervious.
Right.
It's
Well,
gotta
that's
be
true, too.
compacted, but, you know.
I think
but-
that would be as a we'd have to address every one of those, unfortunately, too, because there shouldn't be a bunch of that happening anyways.
I just
Although
wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, yeah.
Just going through my memory, and I thought.
that was way
That's
before
why
my time.
gravel was included.
Yeah, way before my time. Okay.
One more.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Give
Datt.
some details about the gas lines on Rome side and the water line funding that you said you,
I don't have any details of when, or I know that they are wanting to replace all the gas lines on Rome side. As far as the funding goes, we're trying to work on some loans to replace the water lines up there, because that's and we're what the plan was, and it's not. We don't even know if we can get the money to do it, but the plan was to try to do like one whole section. Like if we could replace all the water lines at Roadside and New Streets, then that's done. Then go to the, now there's some bouncing around with other water projects as we get different loans or different grants or whatever we get. We'll take the money from whoever or whatever, get it to us to replace them. But that's what that is up there.
But the gas is going from low pressure to medium pressure.
Yeah, and I
So
don't,
they-
see,
they
I
have
don't
to
have
re-
the answer to
They're,
that question.
they're having to replace all the lines in order to achieve that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was just curiosity, but then
Yeah.
I think before that you said that you had funding almost 98% in place.
That's for,
other water
no,
projects.
that's for Jefferson Street.
Jefferson,
and
Elmwood.
Elmwood, yeah. Yeah, that's been approved. And we're working on all that up there too, because we'd like to, well, I mean, obviously, we want to do as many water lines as we can. It's just a matter of having the money to do it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I saw where they are going to, not, I guess not you, but this new, city chamber, whatever it is.
Business
that they're-
association.
Yes, business association is going to have, the,
Farmers market.
farmer's market at Bicentennial Park. And I'm assuming they're not having people.
Don't look at me.
I'm
I don't
assuming,
know any of that.
I'm assuming they're not having people get insurance, so is that a liability on us?
That's a good question for Mr. Neinheiser.
So they are not requiring, so they're, okay, let me back up. The farmers market, the business association will have an insurance policy. And we will be named on that policy for liability reasons.
So it'll cover us.
So it will cover us.
Okay.
But it will only cover us, I mean, it will only cover the farmer's market. It will not cover the individual vendors and what they're selling.
Okay.
So if someone sells something bad and someone gets sick, then that's on the vendor. They are encouraged to individually get insurance, but this farmer's market is not requiring that as a part of their participation.
And I admit that I don't think I've ever been to the farmer's market, and I don't know what kind of a crowd you get, but I guess I'm a little concerned about parking there. I mean,
Well, they're also talking about doing there and then the
It would
street.
be
right?
just like what it was at the Bicentennial.
Or you mean,
celebration.
oh, okay, yeah.
It'll be the same footprint.
But they're not gonna be driving cars inside
No.
on the grass. They'll have their own table set up with a
So the
tent.
parking will be
Church parking lot.
church parking lot.
that's true, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Okay, okay.
Yep.
Just came to me.
Are they cutting off, is traffic gonna be cut off on Basel?
Yeah.
Have they discussed that with the businesses already?
The part of the permitting process is they have to inform all the businesses, just like the Bicentennial did. They've gotta pass it through Brett and the fire and Tim, so they have a process through the permit process.
Okay, and I'm just asking, cause
Yeah, great
I'm
question.
assuming they're gonna have, porta potties, because unless businesses want people coming and going.
I don't know the answer to that.
That's a good question for us to ask tomorrow night.
Wasn't that the first place you
And,
tried it?
and I know why I'm asking this,
Yeah,
you know
because
why.
you tried it. There. The
And,
original
you
farmer's
know,
market
Ace-
started there
yeah.
and then went to elementary and then
Ace
ended up at
Hardware
Ace.
did a great job, but I can tell you the restrooms were used frequently, as
Yeah,
Mr.
all night
Thorne can
long.
tell you. So, and I,
They're
again, I
probably
don't
coming
know
in there
if
buying
businesses
drills
want
when they're
foot
using the
traffic.
restroom. That's a good thing. All right, anything else?
I got a question.
Yes,
I forgot. I don't know what's going on out on 37.
has nothing to do with us.
Doesn't it? Oh, I
Nope.
didn't know if it was water lines
Nope,
or
has
sewer
nothing to do with
lines
that.
or
It
what,
has to do
and
with-
it is.
Yep, has to do with Walnut Creek Sewer District. That's, I think, and don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure, but I think they are running sewer to Micro. That's what I think. But I
They had
haven't-
annexed Capital Welding and Micro years ago with the promise of sewer that they've never
I just know all
delivered.
that sediment's
They've-
coming
Yeah.
down on 256.
Yeah, it's
and-
not-
They're
Yeah,
fulfilling a promise they made almost a decade ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
has nothing to do with us. Yep, good question though. I asked the same question. Anybody else?
Okay, thanks everybody for attending.
Can I have a restroom break?
Yeah, you have exactly
30 seconds, get on it.
Stop it.
47
Stop it.
seconds.
Stop it.
However long it takes them to get out.
I'm like, come on, guys.
Take your time, Brady.
Well, then I'll take that.
Darla used to sit there. She'd get a text from, yes, sir, it's your pen.
tonight.
It's gonna run out.
So they served the squatters out on Basel.
It was affecting everything.
We're on a 5-minute break, then we're going
But I
to,
also saw people out there.
we are
Thursday night in
entering
trucks
executive
pulling
session
stuff
here
out of
at
the
7:45.